Welcome to Histology channel.
What if everything you've been told about the God of the Bible is based on a mistaken identity? For centuries, scholars have debated the true origins of Yahweh, and what I'm about to reveal will shake the foundations of what you thought you knew. Stay with me, because at minute 12, I'll show you the astronomical connection that proves this ancient mystery beyond doubt. The name we know as God didn't start with the Hebrew Bible. The trail leads us back thousands of years, through ancient Sumeria, to a divine council that ruled before recorded history. And the evidence is hidden in plain sight. Let's start with a question most people never ask. What was God's original name? The name Yahweh isn't original. It's actually a title, an epithet meaning he who creates or he who makes exist. The full version reads Yahweh Sabaoth, he who creates the hosts of armies. This reveals something crucial about the biblical God's nature. But here's where it gets really interesting. The original name was simply El, sometimes plural as Elohim. Remember this, because it becomes the key to unlocking an ancient conspiracy. If you're finding this as fascinating as I am, hit that subscribe button now. You won't want to miss what's coming next. In pre-biblical Semitic religion, El was the supreme deity. He sat as king of the divine council, ruled over 70 junior gods alongside his wife Asherah. El had specific titles that reveal his true identity. He was called El du Yahweh Sabaoth, El who creates the hosts of armies. Another title? Father of Years, which later became Ancient of Days in the Book of Daniel. These aren't just poetic phrases. But there's something darker in El's worship that most people don't know about. The cult of El practiced ritual sacrifice. Specifically, the offering of firstborn sons. This horrific practice would continue in early Hebrew worship. The ancient Greeks knew who El really was. They identified him with Kronos, the titan who devoured his own children. The parallels are undeniable and deeply disturbing. This brings us to the Sumerian connection that changes everything. In ancient Mesopotamia, there was a god who matched El's description perfectly. His name was Anu. Anu was the king of heaven in the Sumerian Pantheon. He was the highest god, the father of all the Anunnaki, and the lord of divine judgment. Like El Yahweh, Anu was called Lord of the heavenly hosts. He created armies of the sky to punish sinners. He presided over the divine council and was praised as the progenitor of all gods. The similarities are impossible to ignore. We're halfway through this incredible journey, and now comes the linguistic evidence that seals the case. The Akkadian root ilu, from which the Semitic name El derives, comes from Sumero-Akkadian culture and was directly associated with Anu. Here's the smoking gun. The cuneiform symbol for Anu's name could be read as either Anu or Elu. On a linguistic level, they're the same deity. The symbolism confirms what the language reveals. In Semitic religion, El was represented by a winged solar disk with a pointed star at its center. The Book of Amos even mentions this star symbol in Hebrew worship. Anu was represented by the exact same symbol. Keep watching, because the astronomical connection I promised earlier proves this beyond any doubt. Both El and his Greek counterpart Kronos were associated with the planet Saturn. This is where it gets really dark. Judaism has always been, at its core, a Saturnian cult. The sacred day is Saturday, Saturn's day. Called Die Saturni in Latin and Chronia in Greek. The Hebrew Sabbath shares its etymology with Shabbatai, the ancient Hebrew name for Saturn itself. Before we continue with the most incredible part of this story, please subscribe to our channel. It helps us create more content uncovering these hidden truths. In Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism, Yahweh is associated with the Sephira Bina, which corresponds directly to Saturn. The connection runs through every level of the tradition. In Greco-Roman mythology, Saturn Kronos castrated and devoured his own children, fearing they would overthrow him. This obsession with child sacrifice carried over into the Saturnian cult that became early Judaism. The biggest secret of Judaism is staring us in the face: its Saturnian worship. Counter-doctrines arose to challenge Yahweh's claim to supremacy. Late Mesopotamian records claim Anu violently overthrew a predecessor named Enlil. In Greek mythology, Kronos defeated his own father to seize the heavenly throne. This brings us to the Garden of Eden and the serpent. In Genesis, Yahweh doesn't want Adam to eat from the tree of knowledge. He curses the serpent for granting humanity divine wisdom. He denies them the tree of life, the key to immortality. But why would a loving God do this? The Sumerian version tells the same story. In the legend of Adapa, Anu is the god who opposes humanity gaining heavenly knowledge. He complains that the great serpent Enki revealed cosmic secrets to mankind. Anu denies Adapa the water and bread of life, just as Yahweh denied Adam the fruit of immortality. They're playing the same role in the same story, separated by thousands of years. Yahweh Anu opposed the enlightenment of humanity. He wanted to keep us ignorant, obedient, and mortal. The serpent, representing Enki, tried to free us. This inverts everything you've been taught. The flood narrative provides more evidence. In the biblical account, Yahweh decides to destroy all life on earth. In the Sumerian flood story, Anu presides over the divine council and makes the decision to wipe out humanity, saving only 8 people and pairs of animals. Many scholars wrongly blame Enlil for the flood. But Enlil was subordinate to his father Anu. He supported the decision but didn't make it. This is the turning point of our investigation. If Yahweh is Anu, then who is Enlil? The answer will shock you. Enlil is Baal in the Semitic Pantheon. Just as Anu was father of all gods, his sons included Baal, the storm god and warrior deity. Enlil and Baal share identical characteristics. Both are young warriors of the second generation. Both are storm deities wielding lightning. Compare this to Yahweh. The Hebrew God is described as the Ancient of Days with hair like pure wool. He's a first-generation deity, an aged patriarch. Enlil, as a young warrior, cannot possibly be Yahweh. The biblical epic twists this relationship. In the Hebrew Bible, Baal Enlil is slandered as a false god of heathens. His name becomes Baal-zebub, Lord of the Flies, a mocking corruption. Here we encounter the accusatory inversion typical of Anu Yahweh. Despite demanding ritual offerings himself, he accuses his son Baal Enlil of the same crimes. The cosmic conflict becomes clear. Yahweh Anu and Baal Enlil became enemies. The son joined his half-brother Enki, the great serpent. Let me show you the structure that proves this conclusively. Looking at the highest tier of ancient pantheons reveals an identical pattern. The first position is always the supreme tyrannical king of heaven, father of the gods, wrathful and jealous, associated with Saturn. That's Anu, Yahweh, and Kronos. The second position is a young warrior, preferred son, tremendous political power, deity of tempests. That's Enlil, Baal, and Zeus. The third position is the benevolent half-brother, teacher of mankind, lord of sciences and magic, often a water deity. That's Enki, Kotharwakasis, and Poseidon. Anu, Yahweh, and Kronos all share the practice of ritual offerings and the soul harvest of mankind. All three opposed the enlightenment of humanity by the serpent figure. Enlil, Baal, and Zeus are all storm warriors, sons of the strict heavenly king, preferred by humans. They're the same archetype repeated across cultures. The truth is inescapable: Enlil is not Yahweh. Enlil is Baal, a god condemned and cursed in the Hebrew Bible. The claim that Enlil is the Sumerian precursor of Yahweh is a deliberate deception. In his awareness, Enlil recognized his father Anu Yahweh's agenda and allied with Enki. Now Enlil fights beside Enki against Anu's forces in the cosmic conflict. He positions himself as a liberator of humanity. This cosmic war began at Eden and concludes at Gog and Magog. The serpent, once demonized in scripture, represents the liberating force. Thanks for watching this journey into ancient truth. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can keep revealing these hidden mysteries.